OP's wedding photos saga. I'm not really a photographer. I'm a dog groomer. I take lots of photos of dogs all day to put on my Facebook and Instagram. It's my thing, if that makes sense. A cut and a photo with every appointment. I very seldom shoot things other than dogs, even if I have a nice setup. A friend got married a few days ago, and wanting to save money, asked if I'd shoot it for them. I told him it's not really my forte, but he convinced me by saying he didn't care if they were perfect. They were on a shoestring budget, and I agreed to shoot it for $250, which is nothing for a 10-hour event. On the day, I'm driving around, following the bride as she goes from appointment to appointment before the ceremony, taking photos along the way. I shoot the ceremony itself, and during the reception, I'm shooting speeches and people mingling. I started around 11 a.m. and was due to finish around 7:30 p.m. Around 5 p.m. food is being served, and I was told I cannot stop eating because I need to be a photographer. In fact, they didn't save me a spot at any table. I'm getting tired and at this point, kind of regret doing this for next to nothing. It's also unbelievably hot. The venue is in an old Veterans Legion, and it's like 110 F, and there's no AC. I told the groom I needed to take off for 20 minutes to get something to eat and drink. There's no open bar or anything. I can't even get water, and my 2 water bottles are long empty. He tells me I need to either be a photographer or leave without pay. With the heat, being hungry, and being generally annoyed at the circumstances, I asked if he was sure, and he said yes, so I deleted all the photos I took in front of him and took off, saying I'm not his photographer anymore. If I were to be paid $250, honestly, at that point, I would have paid $250 just for a glass of cold water and somewhere to sit for 5 minutes. Was I the arsehole? They went right on their honeymoon, and they've all been off social media. But a lot of people have been posting on their walls, asking about photos with 0 responses. Update. I previously made a post you can find here and want to provide an update. This is a throwaway account, so I'm sorry for not replying to every DM. But I hope this answers many of the questions people had. Immediately after the wedding, they went off for their honeymoon. They went to a cottage up north and didn't use social media for a week. In that time, they got lots of requests for photos on Facebook, and I didn't reply to anyone because, to me, this was done, and I didn't want the headache of dealing with the fallback. I don't know a lot of these people. It's their circle of friends, so I thought it was best they handled it. The bride contacted me when they returned and asked me my side of the story. I don't know when the groom spilled the beans, but he wasn't truthful about it. He told her I had camera problems and had lost the photos. I told her plainly what happened and told her that while I felt guilty, it's no way to treat someone doing them a favor. She wasn't in the know about any of this and asked if there was any way we could mend it. We got to talking, and I've agreed to do a reshoot for some photos later in the season. She wants some photos of just them in an outdoor shoot, photos of the rings, some artsy-fartsy shots, and that's it. She offered me the original $250, and I agreed under the condition that I bail out at the first word of crap from either of them. As for the original photos, I offered to bring my SD card to a place that could attempt to recover them, but at their cost, and she declined. Word did get out on social media about some of this, and we agreed to sweep it under the rug and try to diffuse or play down what happened. Of the few comments I did read, they were wholly against me because the story is twisted with the "her camera died" narrative the groom spun. I'm upset, but not enough to make a big deal of it. None of them even know my name. I did make 2 interesting connections though. The DJ was privy to the situation. He was the person I vented to originally, and he asked if I'd shoot their band at an upcoming event. Additionally, the minister asked if I'd like to shoot some promotional images of his church and choir. I'm not sure if I'm cut out for anything but pet stuff, but it's nice to have gotten something out of this ordeal, at least. And a final update, posted on their profile. A final update. This is my 3rd and final post on the matter. I wanted to make a final update to my post, which you can find here. According to AITA rules, I am not allowed to post another update, so I've instead put it on my profile. A common sentiment in the previous thread was that I was a doormat, and I know that. But if I can justify it just one time, this was never about the money, the people, or anything. I'm experienced with photography, but only really in one subject area, pet portraits, and I would gladly jump at any opportunity to practice and gain more experience and exposure in other areas of photography. It's extremely valid to go from volunteer work to paid work, even if the pay is a small pittance compared to what it should be. Even if they offered me nothing, I would have gladly accepted the opportunity, just so I could practice more and try new things. Plus, it was under the assumption they didn't care that they were perfect photos. I got the bride to correct the record on Facebook that there was a disagreement between her husband and me. I don't know if anyone has connected the dots yet to an article or articles they might have read, but a lot of people were upset and actually took my side for once. The bride said we all worked it out, which sort of happened, and we'll have some photos to post soon. For my update, I bailed on the shoot. It was meant to be later in November so they could have snowy photos, but a few nights ago, they asked if I could do it the day before yesterday. I wasn't doing anything, so I agreed. I picked out a location I thought was nice, as there's lots of wineries and vineyards in our area. Plus, it was relatively close to me. I meet them there, and they're both prettied up and ready to go. We congregate around my car while I'm unloading my lights and gear bag, and I talk about how the shoot is going to go. I laid out the specific shots I was going to take, then where the lights would be, their poses, etc. I asked the husband if he could help me carry sandbags, and he declined, saying my job is that of a photographer, not him. Something in me snapped, and I just started loading my stuff up again and got into my car despite their protests. I remarked that when they both get married a second time, don't contact me to shoot it. I rolled my windows up, locked my doors, and off I went. The first thing I did when I got home was block everyone. This relationship was already threadbare, but this just cemented them as awful people I'd do my best not to associate with. All told, my investment in this shoot was maybe 30 minutes of making a game plan on what shots and what to bring and a 5-minute drive each way. That is, if you don't count my previous day wasted. At the very least, I find solace in knowing I wasted their time and money on makeup, etc., if even a little. As well, I'm learning I'm really not cut out for this stuff. I need more experience, in particular dealing with clients, before I take on this kind of work, because I'm quickly learning I hate this aspect of it. As an aside, I don't like many of the people here on Reddit, either publicly or through DMs. As well, some YouTubers who have covered my post who try to gatekeep photography. It makes me very sad to read things like I'm not a real photographer. While it's true I'm not super experienced, these kinds of comments really dig deep when I'm doing my best and trying to learn more about photography. I've been using a DSLR for about 10 years, photographing pets and some small events along the way. Nothing as prestigious as shooting weddings, sure. But just because someone doesn't shoot photos professionally doesn't mean they're by default a bad photographer. My comment. As someone who covers stories like yours on YouTube, I want to express my sympathy for the unwarranted criticism you faced. It's incredibly disheartening to see how some people try to gatekeep photography and belittle others' efforts. Your dedication and passion for photography shine through in your work, whether it's capturing precious moments with pets or small events. Remember, being a real photographer isn't about professional status. It's about the love and skill you pour into your craft. Don't let the negativity deter you from pursuing your passion. Your unique perspective and talent deserve recognition and respect. Keep shining through your artistry, and know that there are many of us who appreciate and support your journey. Thank you for watching the video.